Salutations NickiRickies, welcome back to another video, and today we are playing Tiny Bunny once again. We are going to be continuing where we left off. And I'm pretty sure I saved it. Oh, sweet Jesus. That's, Alright, yeah, there we go. So, before we start, last time we had a nightmare about like this weird little thing that happened about like these little creatures dancing in the forest, and this guy is a very intelligent is what it seems, and his sister is seeing something a little demonic basically. So someone's knocking at the door at the moment, so persistent. I felt extremely unsettled from his silly thought that our morning guests could have come from the woods. I could barely hear voices coming from the front door. My mind was urging me to hide. In the closet, under the table, behind the curtains, where Alia always hides. Tony, come here! I felt like kettlebells were tied to my feet, but still dragged them toward the hallway. A couple of policemen towered over me in the doorway. Jesus! They smelled like frost and worry. My mom always winced and grumbled at the moment she saw patrol cars. Worse than bandits. At the moment, though, she looked somewhat confused. Hello? The senior officer, who wore a grim expression, nodded. A boy had gone missing yesterday. His name was Vova. Look at this, please. Have you seen him? The policeman held out a photograph to me. There was a ginger boy around the age of elementary school, pictured with a wall carpet as the backdrop. He had a stripped cat in his hand and wore a wide smile. Man, imagine a stripper cat. That'd be weird. No, I haven't. Are you sure? Looking closely. Where would I see him? I don't know anyone around here. I barely leave this house. Well, maybe you've seen him from the window. That's right, your windows look straight in the forest, don't they? The window. No, I haven't seen anything. I see. Well, we're just gonna lock you in the loony bin because you saw some fucking creatures. He sounded tired, but his eyes, his stare, long and heavy, was full of suspicion. I squirmed unwittingly under the weight of guilt which his giant shadow cast over me. I was about to say giant instead of giant. That's when you know you fucked up. The policeman finally tore his eyes from me and glanced over the hallway. The stairway and the cracks in the ceiling, which I haven't noticed before for some reason. How do you like your new place, by the way? Getting used to it? Bit by bit, it's just our little daughter misses the city a lot. Misses the city, huh? Have the locals been treating you well? No. I mean, yes, everything is all right. Thank you. The policeman pierced through me one more time with his gray eyes. My head started spinning. Can I help you somehow? I asked them in a sneaky voice, to look like a polite boy and to end the unpleasant conversation sooner. Now that I think about it, you look just like one of my nephews, little fella. He's a witty boy around your age who wears the same type of goggles. Haha, always engrossed in reading those mystery novels. Told me he wants to enroll in police school when his family visited this summer. Wanted to help other people, just like me, see? I felt uncomfortable as if a distant relative and not a police officer stood before me. You know what? Little boys like you should stay home, steer away from trouble. Times have changed so much. Mom interjected in a cold voice. You don't say. Ah, well then. What grade are you in now, Tony boy? 6th. I'm a big boy now. I can use the bathroom by myself. I don't need to get my mom to wipe myself anymore. I ruined it. Have you made any friends here so far? Not yet. I'll be going to school for the first time after the break. Then I'll leave you my number and just in case. Call me if you have any new info. Policemen were gone along with their shadows. The smell of cheap cologne and the photo of the smiling boy. His face still stood before my eyes. I wonder what it was like for him being alone there. Shit, I missed one. That's useful. What did his poor parents feel? And what will my parents do if I'd gone missing? Probably nothing. They don't really like you. Would they cry and thrash around hysterically? Or would they accuse each other like they always do and forget about me eventually? Mom, this Vova, did he go missing in our forest? Seems like it, poor child. I looked out the window at the road. The police drove off toward the village. The officer's nephew came to mind when I was splitting off old plant from the windowsill. I remembered all the teenage mystery novels from the Black Kitty series I read this summer. Your average boys and girls investigated all sorts of mysteries there. They looked for clues, spied on suspicious people, and after a set of amazing adventures, BAM! Solved any complicated case. They became local celebrities. It must have made their parents very proud. I noticed a trail of policemen's footprints that led to the forest. Then it clicked in my head. Why don't I start an investigation on my own? Maybe I'll find that lost boy. And I'll get a reward. Alia will be so happy. And not only Alia, Mom and Dad too. Maybe then they'll forget about their quarrels for a while. Maybe I'll even save us from the D word. I fantasize about buying Alia a Tomodachi and getting a cassette player and a bunch of tapes for myself. The whole box of Kinder Surprise. Aww. When was the last time our parents bought us any toys? Last autumn, I think. My dad had lost his job at the time. There's that annoying song about it. I had little to no idea what was accountant's job like. They count money, I think. Neighbors used to envy us. But nowadays, Mom and Dad barely had enough money to afford sweets. And Dad would always divide a single chocolate bar between me and Alia. Sometimes I gave her my share too. No matter how much I wanted to eat sweet, she was still just a pipsqueak. I couldn't wait to go out looking for clues. I'm going outside. Yeah, right. You want the police to go around with your photograph next? The forest is so thick with that booty. What if the boy is snatched up by wild animals or something even worse? Even worse, echoed through the hallway. I won't go far. I'll stay away from the forest. Did you hear what I said, or should I repeat myself? Better go pack your school bag or play with Alia. Sound of splashing water came from the kitchen. It meant that the argument was over and Mom had the last word. I have a choice? Finally! Where do I want to go? To the kitchen, to the front yard, or open this? I'm a bad boy. Let's go to the front yard. Aton, I'll whip you if you make a single step out the door. The dark, stuffy closet. Mom says it smells like mice, but how would she know their smell? She hates when I stick my nose in there. She's afraid I'll cut myself on a freshly sharpened axe. And now they can't even be lured close to it. She thinks Babby is living there. I try to help her fight her fears once. I opened the door and turned on a dim lamp so she would see that there was nothing but cobwebs and Dad's tools and scratched walls. She still didn't believe me. Choked. And I like to hide in a closet and listen to Alia count outside. 1, 2, 3, better hide from me. Then drag her feet on the creaky floorboards, hoping that she wouldn't need to look for me in the cramped monster's den. Okay, so it looks like I had to go here. Open. Grandma kept ice cream from me and Alia there, but now I could only see meat bits for soup clumped together palami. I grew to hate them already. What are they giving me? Much options here. So I needed to distract Mom somehow. I all got scolded and my ass whipped with my dad's leather belt. Anton, get your ass out of the closet immediately. Damn it! Okay. So maybe I need meat bits for soup and a pack of panini. It's difficult to lie to Mom, but there was no other way for me to run away from home. Mom, something's wrong with the TV. Picture is dim and there are stripes all over the screen. My mom's face became visibly distorted. Ah, you're killing me here. So have you had enough shooting those stupid ducks now? Told you the kinescope will dim because of your console. Where will we find a TV technician in this hole, huh? Maybe it's just the settings. Please go see for yourself. Strange, it worked fine in the morning. Maybe the snowfall caused it. Mom rubbed her hands clean on her apron and went to Alia's room. Now's my chance! Outside! I'm never going back. Fuck you guys. I opened the front gate and went into the field. Carefully so Mom wouldn't see me in the front window. When I crossed half the distance toward the forest, the snow piles became as high as my knees. I remember my nightly fears. I saw those silhouettes around here. They were jumping around, holding hands. The hypnotizing music started playing in my head all on its own. In the light of day, those distant figures felt like a simple dream. The sun turned my nightmares to ash, but aftertaste was still there. Distant ringing in my ears, distorted shadows crawling on the snow alongside me. And a barely audible whisper in my head, blurry and almost kind. Everything went silent. So silent, I felt like the world was totally empty. No ground, no sky, no parents, no Alia. The time reached its limit. A one-way trip that ended at the forest piney stockade. Sometimes silence was much scarier than any scream. Our parents would scream at each other while arguing, and both me and Alia turned to stone listening to them. But then always came the ringing silence. I feel bad for this kid. Like, this kid doesn't get a break. I think that means our. Our apartment became numb a couple of days before we departed. It was hard to remember that the last time Mom and Dad joked around, laughing, or spent time together, almost like it was all in a previous life. When they kissed, with Alia present, she always frowned and snorted in a funny way. But one day it all changed. Something important had left our home. Something scary filled with remaining void. It was if a fire broke up, and our parents were hurriedly packing our belongings, trying to save themselves and us. From who, though? The people with the dead cold eyes, who sometimes visit us in our previous home? The eyes that only saw balls of worms and on the black ground and everything. Somewhere far away, a siren was going off, trying to warn us of us coming of the coming menace. Man, I suck at reading. I shuddered, chasing away my delusions, and looked around. There were only me and its white field on the wind that was whipping up icy dust and belts of powdered snow. I squinted from the sun and turned my eyes to the sunless forest. It looked especially dark in contrast with the blinding whiteness. This man knows better English than I'll ever know. Jesus, and he's only in 6th grade. Knobby tree roots slithered under the tree. Under the snow like fat snakes. You know, fat ones. Rotten leaves and coniferous needles froze into the ice. That's a myth. Dry, prickly branches intertwined, bringing up uncomfortable thoughts about fences. I think that might be the kid's mitt. Were they protecting the forest? Or were they keeping something from breaking out? Some object was hanging from one of the pointy branches. I tried to get closer, drowning in snow. When I almost got to the edge of the forest, I saw a knitted mitten. It looked like a wounded bird among the hungriest semi-dark. Should I take it to the police? The senior officer looked gloomy, but he still reminded me of Captain Casanova from my favorite TV show called The Streets of the Broken Lights. He was also always anxious, with a tired look in his eyes, but still brave and strong. Will this man help them find the lost boy? Vova! You stupid shit, get out of here. I heard a distant shout. It looked like it came from the river. Vova! As if trees were calling out to someone. Vova? He sounded closer to me. Someone was standing there behind the trees, hiding. Vova? Where? Which tree? I knew someone was looking for the lost boy, but still, something was unsettling about that figure. Where? What? Where? I don't see it. If you guys see it, let me know in the comments. I don't see it. Where? Shit. Its stillness, how it was bent unnaturally toward the ground. Oh, wait. Okay, hold up. Let me try to find it. Is that it right there? No, I don't think it could be. Could be the tree. I don't fucking know. I don't fucking see it. I really don't see it. Am I literally that? Well, I don't have very good vision, so. It's blackness. Okay, now that's just racist. Oh, that. There's no one there, just branches and roots. See, fucking hell, Jesus. It's all just in my imagination. A nearby bird flapped its wings loudly. Never mind. The shadow split from the tree and disappeared from my sight. I looked away just for a moment, but when I turned my gaze back to the same place, it was gone. So I was right, yeah. So it wasn't my imagination after all. Silence reigned for a painfully long time. My muscles were tightly spread. My heart was beating somewhere in my throat. Any noise, any little movement, any small whisper from the ticket, and I'd sprint. But nothing of the sort happened. This music's extremely loud on my end. I looked at the mitten once more. Hell yeah, I'm gonna take that. I decided to take the lonely mitten from the branch. Vova? No, so who's talking? Vova. I may have chose the wrong thing. Shout rumbled across the field and dissolved into the distance. No echo, no hope for a reply. Jesus, I am actually really... I stepped toward the bristly trees and tried to claim my find. I didn't budge. I pulled harder and the branch cracked the mitten, tore off, landing in my hand with a squishy sound. All too heavy, wet. I squeezed it without thinking about something dark spilled from it, forming a tiny stream between the mint and the snow. Steam rose from the pile of snow pile. That's blood. Oh god, that is not something. I froze in place, studying my palms in disgust. Red, sound of cracking branches invaded the silence. Oh, I might get a game over, huh? I didn't have time to think twice before running away. Oh, thank God. Anime. Someone was chasing me from the darkness, breaking the pine branches, closing the distance with the giant leaps. The snow was slowing me down. The crazy thoughts flew through my mind. I'll get caught. They'll get me. I'll get dragged into the thicket and I'll be gone forever. But there was one more voice, probably one of the reasons it gave me strength, spurred me on. You can do it. Don't stop. I heard an animal roar behind me. It was so loud my ears went numb. I felt like the sound had come from a pack of hungry beasts rather than a single one. My nostrils sucked in freezing air. They sensed my fear. Two giant wings flapped above my head. An enormous shadow flew over the clearing, a hoot, a wheeze. The roars were coming all from the directions, from the dried up raspberry bush, from twisted pines, from under the windfall. Hurry, run, don't look back. I felt like I was inside a nightmare, the snow clearing becoming vicious like a quicksand. I was stuck in place. I pulled my leg from a mushy trap to get caught in a new one, even deeper than before. I continued to drown, sinking deeper and deeper and deeper with every desperate push. Was the snow ever this sticky? I screamed in horror after realizing this wasn't snow. Someone or something in the snow a snow pile was clutching my pants. I gathered all my strength and rushed forward. Pressure on my leg was gone. My boots slipped out of the hole, and my soles were on hard surface again. I reached a clear path with one jump from there, ran to my house. Its gloomy facade didn't look threatening now. The house was my line of defense, the shadows that flapped their wings and the creature that were hidden. I tripped over the doorstep, smashed into the door. In all my hurry, I still managed to notice the claw marks. As if a dog was striking the woods with its paws, demanding to be let in so it could escape the cold. I hadn't noticed these marks when I was leaving. The heartbeat in my ears was much louder than my surroundings. I couldn't hear whether someone was following me or not. What if they were already in our front yard and Mom had locked the door? Drowning in fear, I pulled the doorknob and it obediently gave away. Jesus, that music is so goddamn loud. I rolled into the hallway and shut the door behind me. Porch planks creaked and I don't fucking know what that is. Ascended into the stairs. My fingers slipped off the lock and I couldn't click into place. I gritted my teeth and pulled hard on the iron knob, whipping it between the boards. I stared blankly at the door. Someone was standing on the other side of the pitiful, flimsy barrier that was probably less useful than blankets. Wheezing breath reached into the house and crashed at me in waves. It smelled of pine and sweat. Mom peeked into the kitchen, chatted with me of the frigid voice she always used talking to Dad. What exactly didn't you understand when I told you never to slam the door? I didn't mean to. I snuck a glance at the door. The smell was gone, and the breath was too. If there was someone in the first place, of course. If there was what? Here, mere 5 meters away from Mom, my fear was slowly weakening, melting like snow in spring, and with it, the last bit of strength I had left in my body too. My legs gave away. I propped myself up against the wall so I wouldn't fall over. Mom's expression had changed immediately. The cold mask of strictness and detachment was gone. Mom looked the same before all those quarrels. She finally saw my condition, my wet pants plastered with snow. Where have you been? What did I tell you, huh? I told you to stay home. Am I nothing to you, too? I got afraid she would cry. I reached out to her like when I was very little and wanted her to cuddle me. My mom regained her composure fast and pulled on her usual face. Her eyes shinned like steel. Her voice ran out. Your dad can't find his cigarettes. Be honest, did you snatch them? Were you smoking in secret? There was something chasing me, I thought. I shuddered as soon as I started explaining myself. Tears welled up in my eyes. Mom leaned towards me and sniffed my clothes like a beast, searching for the smell of tobacco. Then she squinted her eyes in suspicion and looked into the front yard. Her expression changed in an instant and she covered her mouth with her hand. Look over there at the fence. My heart started thumping as if I became prey once again. My pursuers were following in the field. I could swear that I've heard something scratch the door just like in my nightmare. Mom beckoned me with her finger and I gathered all my remaining bravery to look into the kitchen window facing my fear. I could barely discern some hairy silhouettes swimming in snow through the icy winter patterns on the glass. That's just a bunch of dogs. Dogs. Just a small pack of strays with no name and owner. It barely reminded me of the hungry monsters that live on the edge of the forest. Oh boy, you were scared of them? I think I'd rather be scared of you, Anton. They were chasing me like a bunny. And what if they were rabid? A smile had slowly disappeared from Mom's face. Now she looked at the dogs as if they were the first time seeing them. What if they attack Alia? Mom? I wish your dad could just shoot them all. Mom, look, they're alive. Huh? What? Are they your friend or foe after all? Make up your mind. You're not a little kid anymore. Mom sighed in annoyance, and I felt so bitter that I bit my lower lip and fixed my gaze on the cobweb-ridden corner. Well, I'm detective I am. In reality, I wasn't risking my life among monsters, but I'd rather my pants among the pack of stupid strays. And what for? What use do I have for this? Mitten? Of course! A dark and sticky mitten that belonged to the lost boy and surprisingly squishy in my hand. Seems like I was clutching it the whole time. Okay. It's alright. I think we're gonna call it for today's video. And yeah. This game is extremely cool and very secretive. I do really want to get to the bottom of this. And now we found a bloody mitten, so I think there are some fucking monsters in there. So, I want to thank you guys all so much for watching this video. Please comment, like, subscribe if you guys are new. And if you haven't already, please consider joining the NickiRick family for almost daily gaming content. I love you all, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye, everybody. Roll the credits.